go a bit aggressive.
Radiant team pick.
Yeah. Yules isn't the worst. I think Yules is definitely one of the better options, and then you hope that your Centaur can get a Lotus Orb eventually and kind of help out that way.
Yeah.
Jakiro will be the follow-up pickup for G Pride though. I like this to kind of help synergize with their draft. I like that they're not really trying to address necessarily what Furia
10
has and more
seconds
just
remaining.
focused on how do we want to play our game. You have
5 seconds
lots of
remaining.
chain stunning capabilities now. Disruption into Hoof Stomp, into Ice Path,
Oh yeah.
the chains as well. You have lots of different ways to set up for the Ice Path. Very good team fight with
Dire
the
team ban.
Macropyre and the Stampede.
Yeah. I'm with you there. A lot of good synergy, a lot of good magic damage here. Oracle will be able to offset that to some degree. But Treant Protector, if he wants to try and use the spells defensively, especially Living Armor, it's not going to last for all that long. All of this damage over time on the field can still work perfectly well on towers. But even then, the
10
Jakiro,
seconds remaining.
with the Liquid Fire,
5 seconds.
it's basically going to
remaining.
mean that you can
Radiant
stick
team
around in front of a tower, whittle away at it without Treant Protector really being able to do anything about that while you're pushing it. But you can't really slow it down easily.
Yeah, the one thing right now that G Pride really needs is they need some kind of physical damage. Like all of their damage right now is magic, unless Ember goes for the crit build. But even then, in the early game,
10
you're going to look at
seconds
like a
remaining.
Maelstrom build up, all this Flame Guard damage. It's all magic based. So once a pipe
5
comes out
seconds remaining.
from somebody, or just like we said in general, the Oracle with the Fate's Edict going to be very annoying to cancel out all that damage. It's going to be difficult for them to actually burst these heroes down, and you do need to burst heroes like the Oracle and the
Yeah.
Death Prophet down. Slardar, you can kind of kite around a little bit and not worry so much, but specifically that Death Prophet's going to offer just too much
Radiant
sustain
team
and
pick.
too much damage over time
Yeah.
to allow her to run around.
They can fight around this Death Prophet ultimate. I think G Pride, they just have to run away despite all of the control and magic damage that they have to offer, because all that Furia need to do is just have your Oracle put False Promise on the DP. Not even that, maybe just the
10
W might
seconds
be enough,
remaining.
honestly. And then DP just runs in, and
5 seconds
you can't stand
remaining.
against all of this physical damage. Flame Guard's not going to help you. No one really builds a lot of armor on this team. At that point, you have to rely on the Shadow Demon, maybe slowing down a DP with the Demonic Purge and whatnot, or disruption here and there.
Yeah, and the other thing too is the Centaur provides, and even the Jakiro to a little bit, provides such a good target for the Spirit Siphon, right? You
Yeah.
just, oh no, I've been jumped by a Centaur. Okay, well let me just Spirit Siphon you real quick, and I'm full health.
Yeah,
And you're
much.
dead.
Dire team pick.
Oh, wow.
And it's gonna be an Alchemist
Okay.
to follow up. Okay. Is
It's-
this a safe lane Alk? I don't feel like you want to lane Alk against Ember.
I don't know. I did not expect this one at all.
10
Not with the
seconds
DP on the
remaining.
field. So I
5
don't know what the
seconds
plan with that
remaining.
is.
Tinker.
Tinker comes
Tinker,
out. I did not
okay.
expect that one either. It's
So I'd like
Bit
to
of a
point out
non-hero.
that before this game started, I said to you, I get the feeling there's something into my intuition that says this is going to go long.
You did
I
indeed.
think I've
yeah.
been proven correct.
This might very well be one of these games. I mean, Tinker, it's not really that physical damage that you were looking for. It's just a ton of extra magic damage, a little bit of pure with the laser. But what it will do is give you the ability to extend the game, to just push out lanes left and right. It's very hard to actually go high ground against the Tinker, generally speaking, and the Jakiro on top of that as well. Like, gonna need to try and find some ways of reaching high ground in different ways. On the side of Fury, if it gets to that point, but
The one thing though that this does do is, remember yesterday when we saw Fury with this Treant Slardar and Treant went first item Ags? This is actually a game where that's kind of okay, because if you can catch out that Tinker
Oh,
with
yeah.
those tree wards, it's gonna be huge. You're gonna force him into some really uncomfortable item builds, either with that Yules or Manta style that we saw a little while ago. What was that? I think it was Moon in TI8 qualifiers,
Yeah.
TI8 group stages, something like that. You went the Manta Radiance Tinker. just to deal with the Treant Protector. So we might have to see some really crazy builds come out here, and I think I favor Furia's draft. Honestly, they do have still good push against the Tinker, and they have such solid team fight. I think I'm still going to give them the edge on Furia.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure Tinker is a hero, but G-Pride have actually ran it in the first game with this reviewer draft. They had the Alchemist, the Tinker, and the Enchantress up against the Ego Boys. It didn't work out in the end, not by a long shot, but I don't know. If the Tinker gets going, it's still one of these heroes that you're gonna have to actively hunt down, or else they're just gonna start a team fight. Tinker's gonna be on the side, just constantly throwing in rockets and lasers and launches. And you're gonna lose that, no matter how much sustain you have.
It does look it is going to be the mid lane Death Prophet and the safe lane Alchemist. So the Alch versus Tinker matchup is usually Tinker favored, but that's been kind of negated because it's going to be Death Prophet. You can't really shut down her CS with laser because she does have Crypt Swarm to still secure those range creeps and the rest of her CS. She will have the silence to build into later. It's going to be a little awkward, but if Furia can come out of the laning phase with a decent timing on Alchemist items and Death Prophet not just getting shut down with her first couple exorcisms, they could set a decent pace that G-Pride might not be able to match.
Well, let's see if they can get to that point. It's going to be a bit of a farm war across the map here between the Alchemist and the Tinker for a while. I would imagine as well. To just get to that point. And that's where the jungle's gonna be very important for both of these teams. So I wouldn't be too surprised to see them try and invade, place a couple of wards here.
Yeah. And on that note, the invade potential from Furia is actually a lot better. They have the Treant for the scouting, they have the Slardar to sprint in, and you can channel the Fortune's End on the Oracle. You can put that on the Slardar while he charges in, and then as soon as it connects, right, it'll fly out. You crush, you have the follow-up route, you can get some bashes off. So they have some really good invade potential.
That's true. Not necessarily always easy to get going, especially because Lardars tend to not want to put out the early points in the Guardian Sprint. You certainly want to max out the bash just for the laning. For the laning phase. And the sprint can max out the crush, which is kinda useful, but it doesn't really scale in the stun duration. It does scale in the slow duration though afterwards and the damage, but if you want that mobility, you can also opt to max out the Guardian Sprint after the bash.
Are you seeing these doodles on the minimap, by the way?
I am, yeah. Not sure what to make of them. None of them are too bad just yet, I don't think.
I mean, there's definitely one.
I mean, I'm seeing pentagrams. That's the only thing.
Yeah, there was something else, but I mean, if you didn't see it, maybe chat didn't see it either.
Yeah. I mean, I can imagine what it was because it's a bit of an inevitability, isn't it?
It's the classic. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
The classic.
I just didn't pay attention to it. At that point. All I'm seeing is pentagrams, which maybe someone wishes they could play Doom. This one guy just, I think Oracle
really
fails to draw it completely. Yeah, he doesn't know how to draw a pentagram, so that's that. Yeah, Tinker is back. We should be ready to go into this next game. G-Pride again sitting at 2-2 in the groups right now. Furia at 1-4, so they're virtually out already. If not mathematically, I think there's no way for them to win and make it to the playoffs. Even if they won the rest of the games, it would be a 3-4, but I don't think 3 wins are going to be enough to secure tiebreakers. Who else?
So are they mathematically eliminated then?
I don't think mathematically just yet, but practically. I mean, playing against G-Pride, they might win this one. But afterwards, they're up against Thunder Predator, which well, they've been looking pretty good.
Thunder has been looking really good, especially in their game yesterday. Who did they play yesterday that really impressed me? It wasn't Infamous. Was it Ego Boys? They played Thunderboy versus Ego? Maybe?
Played against Pain.
Pain, that's who it was. Yeah, they
Yeah.
looked really good in their gaming. Very, very clean Dota.
Oh yeah, that was the Ember Chen Beastmaster Troll.
Yeah.
And Grimstroke up against Spectre. That was Pain with the Necrophos trying that out. Which was like literally nothing at that point.
Yeah. It just they had a timing they had to hit, and they executed around it very well. So Thunder, I think, is looking very good. But they're not in this game, so let's get back to talking about Furia and G Pride.
Alright. Safe lane Alchemist. RDO has got the big old knuckles. Razzle's Midas knuckles. I think they're quite valuable, like 15 euros or something on the market at this point. You need to sell
Awesome,
mine.
friendly banter. That's
Let's use
it's the
Go
old
Go Go.
Pain. I think they were old teammates, if I remember correctly. It's been a while since I covered SA, but if I remember correctly, they were both at the old Pain roster at one point. So
Probably, yeah. That sounds about right. Peruvian Duster. Brazilian Slutty. What?
some friendly banter.
I mean, Slutty is from Ecuador,
30
so
seconds to battle.
that's not accurate. Duster's from Brazil, so yeah, this is friendly banter, but don't believe a word they're saying. That's probably the best way to approach this situation right now.
How
Madara,
did
yeah,
Tree
get the hell
get
out of
to
there.
where he is? That's what I want to know. He like
Mad skills.
walked or something.
I think mad skills were involved.
They will secure 2 runes each,
The
so no
battle
crazy
begins.
advantage for the Alchemist. And he's actually heading back top. They're dodging out this tri lane.
Probably the right call. I mean, you don't really provide all that much, certainly in the early levels. I mean, acid spray is good and all, but it's mostly I don't know. It's good in a 1v1 mid and good for farming the jungle and whatnot, but it's not really the kind of thing that wins you team fights early on because they can just walk out of it. So he's just gonna dodge his lane. Instead, he'll be up against the Ember Spirit. Well, Heiko and mid on the old Treant Protector, waiting for the courier for the time.
Okay, Alk's heading back bottom.
What? Oh god.
They were doing a rotation, but decided to send him bottom, so he's missed his whole first wave.
Okay. Don't think he's gonna get much CS here against the Tri lane. And that is
I think he's dead.
one and stomp and dual breath with the slows, couple body blocks. There is a bit of a root and also purging off that damage over time. Now Jericho actually taking a lot of damage. Heiko and Dustin both rotating in. The punches, they hit pretty damn hard, but not hard enough by the looks of it.
I legitimately thought he was dead there. I thought there was
Yeah.
no way he lives, but just tanky enough to.
Guess he has 700 health points and a bit of armor from the tower. Hero? Really trying to make a play on him.
They see him with the observer ward or the sentry ward there, so they know he's there. They know he wants the punches. If he gets 2 hits off, Jericho will die.
Duster's there, he doesn't have the Fortune's End. Sliding has another disruption though, so Jericho should be fine. Same 2 people disconnecting again. First Spirit is back. We're missing our Dark Mago.
It's looking spicy. It's looking spicy.
So far so good mid. I mean 6-0 on DP, 5-1 on Tinker.
I think Tinker build is pretty much just you get early bottle and then you just kind of abandon the lane. You go jungle pretty early on. Is what I've been seeing a lot of people do. You don't really play the lane that much anymore. You set up some stacks for yourself, get a nice soul ring timing, and then you can farm these 3 camps just so incredibly well. It's actually a little bit even better than the triangle. You get a couple of stacks there and you just farm so crazy fast.
Yeah, that's for sure. And Madara having some issues with packet loss. These are Brazilian servers, I think.
Yeah, I think they changed it
They
after
changed it
some people were
back.
complaining yesterday.
Then again, wouldn't be the same issue for Peruvians on Brazilian servers. Shouldn't that be the same issues that Brazilians have on Peruvian servers? I think.
Hey man, I don't know the politics. I just know people were complaining and things got switched. That's all I got.
Oh well. Back now, hopefully he can play the game decently enough. Certainly on Ember Spirit, if you have to play with Black and packet loss, it's one of the worst heroes probably. You have to deal with that.
Yeah, it's up there. I think Ember Spirit and Puck are the two worst ones. As Ludine's still gonna have some issues.
Oh man, can't play. Eesh. It's a big X.
We have 20% packet loss.
It was a little bit
That
too late to
is-
rehost at this point.
Admins?
Yeah, that was sad server. If Furia can't play too, then might have less
Even
issues.
ground?
Normally.
What? Make us do this.
Normally.
Well, maybe we should just talk to the admins then and just say, oh yeah, can we rehost? Because if both teams agree, then it's a bit of a different story. I mean, there's not been a first blood or anything just yet. There's been a bit of lane reveals and whatnot, and a bit of couple of spells and some regen being exchanged, but yeah, I don't know. Try for now. All we could do is hope that things get better and see if the admins have to say anything about it.
Oh, I just realized that they're playing, it's not just Ember, but Tinker. Have you ever tried playing Tinker on
Oh,
Packet
no.
Last?
Oh
Oh,
god.
that's rough. Murdoch top, though.
Going on, get a bit of salve up, I think, but now we can slow it down. Madara continue to right click, has another
Chains and
chain,
blood.
so that should be the first blood right here, and it is.
Thanks and
indeed.
have fun.
First blood
Oh,
in flames.
yeah, going straight to a Macho Machines build. Sometimes you see 2 points up in the laser, 2 points up in the missile, just to try and dominate the lane, but up against a DP.
Nah, this is the build now, man. You don't even, he's not even getting soul ring. He just, this is it now. This is how you play Tinker. He's at around 340. You're gonna see this Tinker rotate up into this little triangle and start making stacks for himself. Once once he's got level 3 March, they're going to, he's just gonna AFK farm it.
Yeah. Okay. Just gonna let it happen. I mean, they keep going back to playing, and then they pause again a few seconds afterwards. Normally.
I mean, it is frustrating. It's one of those things that, I mean, I understand.
Yeah.
I've been there. I've played some SA Dota servers in my time, and it's frustrating.
In the flame.
We got on up top now. They get the chains off, but Murdoch does have another charge. Bash charged up. Dara's gonna have some juking to do. Heiko's also there. Just get a Q off of his own.
He's got the boots on Madara though, so it's actually kind of tough.
So fast. We'll get interrupted. Alright. Sort of.
It was the plan the whole time.
No idea what's going on here, honestly. It's like just a random radiant range creep, then the neutral creeps, and some of the dire creeps, but not all of them. So like you went. Yeah, back and forth there, down bottom, Alchemist. A good amount of CS here as well, but now another banishment. Stomp. Oh, I missed the stomp! How do you miss the stomp? You have the
I mean-
indicator, you see it counting down.
I mean, to be fair,
Okay.
they're playing on 100 ping and 20% pack
Alright,
loss.
alright.
Let's
I already
let's
forgot
give
about
them
that.
some leeway here.
Yeah. I choose to blame that.
I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt there and say that sword is better than missing that stop.
Yeah. Chains up top, dual breath coming through. Murdoch, a lot of damage being done. Heiko trying to do what he can. Doesn't have Leech Seed or something to help him out, but I think the Fairy Fire was just enough to save him. He does not have any more. Oh, the Tinker with the Haste Rune! Oh my god. Dying to a right click of a Tinker. That feels bad.
The rotation from Dark Omega. Oh, that's such a sad Slardar.
Oh
He does
no.
have TP, so it's not like he burned that or anything, but... the Hasty Rune.
That's fine. He wants to go back to base anyway, right? Just stay a little bit quicker.
Behold my searing
Chains, Madara just keeping away. As long as there's Bash available, Murdoch gets it off. What up, Crush? Plenty of health points available.
Let me see the stacks starting to come in now for Dark Mega. He's making them himself. He's avoiding this little camp off to the side, but he's gotten these two in a nice spot where you can just dump March on them, and he does have his rearm available. Just needs some mana.
Well, only one bounty rune for the Alchemist in this round. Pretty damn good. Very important when you're playing against an Alchemist. You try and control up the runes as much as you possibly can.
Yeah. One more bash up top. We'll get the Chikiro. Root to follow.
Murdoch able to click him to death. Didn't lose
Oh,
on
and-
return though. And that was a neutral
got-
creep, right?
He got the neutral creep. That's a nice
Seems
sign.
good. Murdoch just continues. I mean, at this point you have 2 points up in Bash. It's a good amount of damage. It's 125 bonus damage. Plus you get like 1 or 2 extra clicks in afterwards between the Bash and the Crush. So it's so much harassment damage, especially against melee heroes.
I'm curious to see if he'll go for the 3rd point of bash at level 5, or if he'll go for a 2-1-2. I've seen some starters alternate back and forth. I think you want the extra point Guardian Sprint, just so you can get that extra chase potential against an Ember. But we'll see if he feels differently about it.
Doesn't scale particularly well. Certainly on land.
Dire's
Only 8%
structures
extra
are
move speed.
fortified.
I mean, it's only 0.1 extra seconds of bash.
It's
And
not about
50
the
damage.
bash, it's about the damage. 50 damage is quite a bit.
That's fair.
Especially in the early game.
Tinker's doing his stacks.
Oh yeah, easy money. 54 last hits. Max, or highest point in the network department. Dara. Ooh. Murdoch needed 2 more hits with the slows from Jericho, unable to get it out.
I just realized that Jericho is playing Chikiro, and I don't know how to feel about this.
That's not gonna be confusing at least, right?
Yeah, I mean, either way, you're right.
Yeah. Trying his best here, doing the pulls and attacks. Getting a bit of extra farm going from Adara here, it's always nice. But constantly being harassed here by Heiko there. Do have that central ward to see him coming. That'll be enough.
Sword, maybe going down bottom. Might have to pop the Stampede to get away.
Stick charges, gonna get healed up a little bit by this Purifying Flames.
Yeah, it does have the Vanguard as well, so actually able to get out there. Nice jukes.
Good. Alchemist with the face boots and the soul ring now on the courier. So at this point you can probably just rotate into the jungle yourself if you want to.
Gonna stack up those small camps, and
Yeah.
he'll be happy to farm those. And Tinker closing in actually very quickly on his bots.
It's gonna be a really good timing.
I'll have that in the next within the next minute or so, if not a little sooner.
You still finish up these null talismans for some extra spell amp? Or
No, I think he just got those for the lanes. He was expecting it to be a little more difficult, so you get that for some extra CS. He'll sell those off. You're getting such a quick bots timing that it doesn't really matter that much. There's a
There it
bit
is. Travel online. Aurum Sword, okay, he's pretty damn deep.
Radiant's
Buster, gets root off the Stampede. A little bit late, he still gets a bit of value out of it. RDO, without the Unstable Concoction, can't really do anything in return.
He's so tanky with his Vanguard. Like, he actually just doesn't care.
Just running a Duster, oh god, with Retaliate. Did you just purge off the Retaliate stacks? Is that a thing? No way, right?
He might have. It's a debuff.
Oh,
Doesn't say it's not dispellable.
that's true.
Have to pay attention to that next time.
Just saw it went from 10 to 0. Oh, well, he's gonna die here maybe to that. Last strike, he's still being healed up right now, but Fear of Fang Flames, he's joking, he's jiving, it's not enough.
He's just so tanky with the Vanguard. He doesn't care. He doesn't have any worry.
No.
Tinker's in the area
Radiant's
too
middle
now.
tower is under attack.
Shadow Demon's been able to sap mid experience while this is happening, and they get a kill top as well. They ended up finding the Treant.
You probably kind of firing on all cylinders. Winning bottom by virtue of not losing sword. Tinker with the perfect timings.
The runes. They're gonna get 3 runes again on G Pride.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Radiant's middle tower
Really needs
is
bounty
under
rules to help
attack.
out the algorithm. And right now, he's not even top net worth. And 10 minutes in, that's how you know that things are actually super bad for him. Not to mention the rest of the heroes. Mini is just below Madara. So 3.7k.
And Centaur is actually sitting 3rd overall, just a little bit behind an Alchemist.
Yeah.
That's the crazy thing. Sword is actually just so farmed. He's rushing right into Crimson Guard just because of all the physical damage. They don't really have that much magic damage. It's kind of the opposite problem that we usually see.
Yep.
They all in on this physical damage lineup, so just build armor.
Yep.
Get a Crimson, get an AC, maybe a Vlad's even, just for some extra armor. And go nuts.
Especially against the Death Prophet, all of that just goes a long way to offset the damage from the exorcism, especially at level 1 where we don't have all of these spirits. No way.
Radiant's top tower is under
Bringing in
attack.
more people down towards the bottom lane. Dust
Dire's
Surge, channeling
middle
up that
tower is
Q.
under attack. Radiant structures.
There's a Stampede again, and they don't have anything left.
Mid lane.
Oh.
Jumping.
That is the Overgrowth, Ico.
Radiant's
Huh.
top tower is under attack.
Not sure what he was thinking there. But maybe just buying space for bottom instead of looking for the tower.
Tinker's gonna have bots soon.
There's the ultimate from Mini.
Or Blinken.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
There's a few spells being thrown out. Sword taking quite a bit of damage here, but now
Radiant's middle tower is
can
under attack.
keep kind of walking up with the Marching Machines. They cannot maintain this push. Gonna do a bit of damage here with the catapults and a few of these spirits, but not gonna be able to tear this tower down just yet.
Very soon gonna have that blink on Tinker. Madara's been AFK farming while this is happening. He's gonna have his Maelstrom soon. Able to grab an Arcane Rune either for himself or leave it for his Tinker. Looks like it will be for Madara. Arcane Rune Ember is still really, really good. Very strong.
Yeah. So is anything not really going G Pride's way right now?
They haven't really been able to pressure into that mid tower. This is one of the weaknesses of their lineup is outside of the Kiro, really, they don't have great tower push. And taking this mid tower is going to be both very difficult and very important because it's going to allow you to move into this bottom half of the map and kind of close off this Alchemist map.
With Alchemist going in just when the Chemical Rage ends, so we've got opportunity, especially with Tinker coming in. Dark Mago, not the biggest amount of mana, or the biggest mana pool just yet, but plenty to set up for both of these kills. Dominating spree.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
That's
Jericho
the-
got the RDO, but Dark Mago thus the kill, and now they're walking away on this tower.
Oh, and they got
Sword,
Death Prophet
Low,
mid.
Heiko's there, DP goes down mid, Stampede goes in, but Centaur Warrunner tanking tower shots, 10 stick charges, but should still die here as Murdoch. Not even needed here. It's a shared kill, and now these Heiko's face onto Jericho. Easy bash, easy kill, Dark Mago. Heiko, if he finds him here,
Oh,
can he get the ring out of it? No, he can't! Just a little bit too slow.
Oh, that was so close.
On that one. That's
They're trying to get this mid tower still. Treant doing a pretty decent job of healing it up, and they, again, don't have great ways to actually take it.
can get rid of the creeps very easily, but they can't tank the tower just yet.
It's weird to say that Centaur is their best
Radiant's
tower hitting
middle
hero.
tower is under attack.
I mean, it really is. Like,
He is. I mean, he does a lot of damage if he has max out retaliate right, like he has right now.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
It doesn't really matter if you can't finish off these towers in one go.
Blink on Slardar. They've smoked up. They're going for the Ember. This is a good reveal if they can get it.
Kennedy,
gets time.
perfectly timed. The defensive disruption, though, is there. This is the full 5-9 lineup for the Radiant. Does get shot and jumped out. This Light of Fist. False promise onto RDO, so he should be fine. But the rest of the team, maybe not so much. Mini's so freaking low. The Remnant forward from Madara. Getting the kill on the support first. Couple Remnants back and forth, but the heals are real. Death Prophet still alive, but for how long? Dark Mago. Okay, I'm not sure if that's the one that you want to focus on, because now Decent Bertrand's sword comes in with the stun. That'll buy the space for Dark Mago to actually survive. Blink towards the shrine or something. DP somehow still alive. Heiko as well gets the overgrowth out. As RDL, gotta be very careful. If you don't have the ultimate, you cannot fight, period. Sword and another stun, and the nukes are real! Death Prophet finally out of sustain, and Heiko, I'm not sure what he was thinking. He was gonna be able to accomplish that. Maybe set up for the Oracle, finally killing off Sword, but was that worth it? I'm not sure. Really not
Where is
sure at all.
the fight recap?
Never refuse.
G-Pride won that super hard, right? Tinker surviving, Madara surviving, getting a few
Madara
kills.
died,
Oh,
I
he did
thought.
die? Okay, no, when?
I thought Madara died.
Did he? He did, okay, yeah. Still, 4
Yeah,
heroes going down, despite all of the sustain.
It says it's pretty even overall. I think if Sword was able to get out there safely, that would have been worth it. But you got 600 gold on the Oracle for killing that Centaur. So
What do you do with that, though?
equalizing a bit.
And how much is this Oracle network really going to matter? Compared to
And
surviving
Oracle,
and getting a
Oracle with items is scary. You got a Spirit Vessel on this guy, and a Force Staff and a Glimmer Cape. It's and Aether Lens too. This guy can do a lot with items. The name of the game is keep your team alive, survive the burst damage. And there's a Tinker and an Ember Spirit. It's all about that burst.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
You have an Alchemist, you have a DP. You want these fights to go long, drag out. Let the Radiance Burn go to work. Let the Ghosts go to work. Spirit Siphon. Oracle with net worth is kind of spooky this game.
Despite that kill, though, he's still sitting at 1600 as, okay, starting very low, silence here, so no defensive disruption for himself. Overgrowth available here in case they need it. Dark Mago, probably get the hell out of there, Madara. Trying to bring the starter super
Mega.
freaking low, the Ice Path to follow up. Madara does have another couple of spells. Light Fist will be enough to actually set up for the kill. Dark Mega, though, he got intercepted by Heiko. Gets the
Oh, he
blink
blinks
out,
out.
though, with the dust. Over the Treant Protector. Meanwhile, on the other side, the Stampede trying to set up for DP, but for False Promise, plus over the field
Tinker's
going from
coming
Spirit
back.
Siphon. He should be back up to full, but Dark Mago. And I have something to say about that. He's back up to full health
Oh my
and under the
God,
T2
Oracle.
tower.
Under attack. Radiant's bottom tower.
That's pretty,
False
pretty
Promise
much
is a
impossible. Yeah.
Crazy ability.
I think it's pretty much impossible to kill her if he has False Promise and has a Spirit Siphon going. especially on
Dire's
the
top
Centaur.
tower is under attack.
Slaughter's TPing in. They have Vision of Ember. He has no mana.
Oh, what is he still doing here? Apart from feeding, that is.
It's over.
Oh man, that was. They had the ward on the high ground. And perfect vision of him. He sees the Slaughter TPing in, but he used all of his mana on farming. Was not
No.
able to. Didn't even have a safety remnant up, it looks like. Unless it expired right as he died.
Quite greedy. Slowed down, but no real fallout there. Unless Tinker goes in. He's TPing.
They purged off all the Shadow Demon stacks. Had the Fate's Edict ready to go.
Arcane Rune for Madara.
Still haven't taken this mid tower. It's still at. This is the power of the Tree Protector. Cannot take my buildings, sir.
Radiant's middle tower
Struggling
is
quite a
under
bit to even get the bottom one, but now they're gonna try and make a play. The root's over and start. That's a lot of burst damage for the Ice Bomb. No way he lives there with the few right clicks. Stun Laser will do the trick just as well. Duster, super low as well. No more false promises. Still even on cooldowns. Maybe an opportunity to bring down Mini. Spirit Siphon on one. Madara getting out of there here as Duster actually buys back into the slope. Going back in. Another chains.
attack. Is under
Extra safety here. Death Prophet Still alive, Ice Path. Let's connect on Oracle. If they get the kill here again, this would be big. Sword goes in with the Storm. Self-Force Promise has to come out. But they did bring out Death Prophet. Going in too deep. Now Dasta, I don't think he's going to live here either. 4-for-1 trade. And only got Sword. The tower also finally goes down.
Beyond godlike on the Tinker. He's just been so bubble in these fights, so pesky. He's going for the Dagon build next, so the burst damage is even going to rack up more. You do finally have your Radiance on the Alchemist, but it feels like kind of too little too late. You're starting to lose towers. You've lost all your tier 1s across the map. You haven't been able to take any either. That's the thing. DP has used all of her exorcisms for fights and not transitioned any of those into actual objectives.
Yeah.
Your Alchemist is not sitting top net worth either.
Even with the Oracle, there's only so much that you can do, especially if you are forced to use the spells not on your Death Prophet, right? So maybe a bit of miscommunication there as well. Death Prophet just kind of running away from the Oracle. Out of the way, perhaps a bit of a fight here. They got the Sands, they got the follow-up stun with the crashes and everything, so quick kill on Madara. That's off to a good start. Mini looking for more Slati, taking the whole brunt of that ultimate, and there's no way out for him. Look on RDO. Kind of far away from towers still, so yeah.
Take a look at bounty runes. Look how many bounty runes they got
None of
against the Alchemist.
Actually, yeah, none of them.
They got all 4. They got all 4 bounty runes again. I mean, is it worth the Ember dying? Probably not, but it's still a huge win.
Yeah. And Alchemist is still not top net worth 20 minutes into the game.
He's nipping at the Tinker's heels, but it's a Tinker. He's got his GPM talent online now. Like he's going to be farmed all game, and he's got a lot of burst damage. The only saving grace is going to be eventually when those BKBs come out. And then, as you go later game, once those BKBs start running out, it's still a scary Tinker. He's going to go Dagon, and then he'll probably go back for his Scythe at that point, and then you're screwed.
Oh man. Oh, sword. Defensive disruption and stuns available. Slati goes in. Murdoch instantly with false promise. Follow-up crush. Centaur still in a bit of trouble. No stampede, no nothing. It's a full 5-man. Dark Virgo goes in. Goat by RDO. Duster super freaking low. He burns to the fire. Slaughter trying to TP out. They see him. Can they burst him? They can indeed. What a silly question to ask. Of course they can burst him.
The Dagon from the Tinker.
Level 3 already right now. Closing in on level 4.
It's about to be level 4 from that fight.
It's a ton of extra damage. 800. Completely maxed out. Add the laser on top of that, which is another 320 pure. Plus Spell M takes it to more like 345. Rockets.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Let's just say it's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It'll probably... One rotation is enough to bring Oracle to within 300 HP. Let's put it that way.
And then the second rotation is only 0.75 seconds away.
Yeah.
With the level 3 rearm, so... This is where the Tinker really shines. We can just join into any fight. When the fight's already going, when there's a bit of chaos, he's just thriving on that. They need to be able to find Tinker first. Or else it's just game over.
Dagon 4 now on Tinker. He is ready to murder any and everybody.
Not even far away from Dagon 5, as it turns out. 200 gold or so. So it's one more wave pushed out or something.
Pipe will be completed now on the DP, so maybe that'll help stem the tide a little bit. They do need some kind of answer to this insane amount of burst damage. The Oracle just not being enough. And part of the problem too is that the levels just really aren't there for Duster.
It's like level 12. Level 2 False Promise. A little bit longer, but mostly the cooldown as well. 150 to 80 seconds. A lot more manageable.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
We've got the Meteor Hammer now in the tree. This is what I like to see.
Oh yeah, and perfectly played, almost perfectly
Radiant's
placed.
bottom tower is under attack.
One of these creeps, Tinker goes in, and there's some support. Murdoch kind of going in. I don't think you can blink into the
Radiant
march.
structures are
I
fortified.
think it's already out of there anyways. All good.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Alright,
attack.
how long for a BKB? Alright, Alchemist building a BKB. DP has a blink dagger actually, so she's gonna look to, I guess, blink on top of the Tinker with her pipe and try and burst him down, catch him with the silence. It's one way to do it.
Seems ambitious.
Dire's
smoke
top
up from
tower
G
is under
Pride.
attack. Radiant's
leader
bottom
Nobody's
Shot.
defending this
is under
tower, so they
attack.
know they're at the top side of the map.
And Stampede coming out already here. They're looking for DP. The stomp connects instantly into the false bomb. It's also fighting on the shrine. It's not the best place to be, which is why they're getting out of there. At least they should be. Tower, though, in the middle of all of this, gets crushed up, almost bursts down. Self-heals. Does he have a defensive remnant? He does not. Just let's go for short range one. Big misplace there from him. Meanwhile, Slardine also intercepted. And Sword also not out of the woods yet either. He's in the middle of all of this with a corrosive phase. They're going to lose him too.
Double kill.
Fighting on the shrine. That is a very good way to lose your team.
Madara not being able to disengage because he doesn't have defensive remnant. Stampede used very early mini.
They got 4 runes.
Okay,
They finally swung it back the other way.
just like that. It was like a 3k disadvantage or so still for RDO after that fight in the runes. I mean, Tinker just gets a big kind of killing spree there to get a bit of extra distance between them again, but
Dagon 5,
yeah,
laser.
that is worth
So
it.
much
Because it should finish up the BKB. Alchemist.
Not quite. Looks like he went back for something
Right,
else.
he had the Manta
Oh, he
Stone.
went back and finished his Manta. That's what it was.
Alright.
Which, I mean, it makes sense. It helps you push your waves out a little bit more safely. You have some answers to the blind from the Tinker.
Yeah.
Extra chaos in the fights as well.
Go up top. They don't have detection at the ready. Really punish him.
So many arcane runes this game. Another one for Ember Spirit. And Ember's actually going for a Desolator, so looking to solve their building push problems. I think mid one was one of the first pros I remember seeing this pretty frequently on.
Certainly need something like that. I'll just go Meteor Hammer Tinker. That'd be very funny. Yeah, still trying to establish control over this Radiant jungle here. They've got enough ward vision for it. Just Tinker constantly pushing out these waves. It's gonna be enough to offset Heiko. Up top on the tree and Protector doing the same thing. He's just camping top lane. Top lane as much as he can. At some point, you gotta imagine that they want to set up for the Tinker if he goes into defend. Not so far. They find Jericho though. That's a very quick kill, perhaps. Kuro's face and a quick pick off. No stun. You still can't take this fight though. Slardine trying to TP out. They what? Hello? Rush? Anybody? Murdoch. It's playing there.
Slow. The good news, though, is that Tree's actually now able to put some pressure onto the map. He's just kind of been sat in this top lane for the last little while and causing just a lot of problems. They constantly, G-Pride looking over their shoulder, having to keep an eye on this top lane. They want to shove in this bottom tower, but between the fact that he can still heal the towers from where he's sitting and he's putting pressure on this tower
Dire's
with the
top tower
Meteor
is under
Hammer,
attack.
they can't really do anything about it.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Alchemist coming in. Looking at a little bit.
Radiant are scanning.
Idea of G-Pride is ready to go, though they do not have a smoke by the looks of it. There's a ward a little bit further behind on the high ground for the raid.
Oh,
But
Tinker.
they're not going to see that here. The blink stop goes in. Tinker, where the hell is he at? On the back in a good position. So, okay, BKB from RDO though, turns things around. Goodbye, Sword just falls apart to all of this minus armor, so does the tower.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
The march of machines are just ignoring it for the most part.
They have the vision, they know he's there, but they can't do anything about it. Heiko just being
Dire's
so
middle tower
annoying on the
is
stream
under
protector, and
attack.
he's got a blink now. He can be in those fights. That next time they take a fight like that, he's going to be able to
Dire's
blink onto
middle
those
tower
back lines
has
and
fallen.
and just mess with the Tinker. He doesn't
Yeah.
really have the defensive options available just yet. Has 4,500 gold saved up, so maybe he looks towards the BKB or that Manta style for himself, but he's going to need something because Heiko's going to be looking for him now.
Of Heiko, he's
Unless he's
still
going
holding
for
on
the-
to his money. Yeah, he might just go for the axe.
He might go for that Ags.
Maybe he has the point booster and is saving that money. G-Pride
You don't
can get some extra advantage going for themselves. At least they're trying to go for the Stroshan. Not the fastest one in the world. Dark Mago can kind of go in and out, press all his buttons on him. Only that the mountain machines to make Furia not want to go in there at all.
We'll get the Aegis, it looks like. Gonna end up on Vidara.
Claimed immortality.
There's an Agnum Scepter, so gonna see some trees. Setting up for a few more Banner Runes down bottom, so it looks like it's gonna be a 2 for 2 this time. So ready to blink up to go for that one.
Never refuse gold given.
But Alchemist is finally ahead in net worth. Only a little bit ahead of Tinker, but and it's still an Alchemist, so I guess technically he's still behind rather than even.
He's in a comfortable enough spot. With this BKB now, like, again, G-Prod, they have all of this magic damage. We were looking for the last pick for theirs to be a lot of physical damage. They went for this Tinker instead, so this BKB timing, it's a big problem for them. Yeah, they have Aegis to slow that down now, but these pushes are going to start coming in from the side of Furia. You're going to have Heiko running through the trees, spotting out those Tinker rotations with his eye in the forest.
Oh, Blink does a
And
crush.
Murdoch.
Murdoch with the BKB just going in. Adiol follow-up with a defensive disruption. You're trying to turn this around, buying some space for Dark Mago. They need it. They need to Tinker here to stay alive, but he doesn't. Doesn't buyback available if they want to try and turn this once the BKBs go down. But meanwhile, it's the Aegis on the sidelines. He does have a remnant somewhere. And he can get all the way back towards his base. Sounds up. Stunned. Still connects on him. He's outside the base, but they don't want to dive as they're looking for the easier kills for Oslani. Down for the count. G-Pride, they're just falling apart left, right, and center. As Murdoch's even being kept alive by Duster. Dara. Unable to find any sort of return kill right here.
They force the buyback out of Tinker.
Yeah.
That's the big thing. They have this win condition open to them now. If they catch Tinker in the next 8 minutes, that's just a lane of racks. Free.
Yeah.
Potentially the game, depending on where the fight takes place.
Playing
How
very
well-
aggressive as well. I do see
Can't
him, but
go
I
for
also
this
see
kill.
Duster, so he's down. But there's Murdoch with a blink, with a bash. That's a lot of damage, but there's still he's all by himself. Follow-up chains. Actually, Heiko's also there, but
Oh, that was
unable
so
to keep
dangerous.
up. That was very bold indeed. Madara, oh god, if they can get him, this would be almost as bad. He does a buyback available. This damage out was actually ridiculous between the acid spray. That's what, -7 armor,
And the corrosive haze,
-20 from the
minus-
corrosive haze, and the AC. You know, it's
Oh, is there, did he finish his AC? Yeah, he's
he
got
has
his
it
AC now. He's starting to build Ags too, so I think we're going to start seeing some puddles around the map.
oh yeah.
Maybe we see the DP Ags, but
DPX probably
you can
more
see the
bulky,
lines getting
but-
drawn. They're just saying, just push right down
Yeah.
bottom. They've already got this line of Tinker wards ready to go in the form of that Treant. You're going to have Duster coming online soon. And I don't really know how Tinker stops this push. You glyph one wave and you might just lose your racks.
Faith in fate restored.
Just goes to show how quickly a game can turn around if you just lose one team fight. I mean, they kind of went in super aggressive in this Shrine fight. And now they're on the back foot. Because, like,
My deepest
your options are severely limited. Normally with the Tinker, you can say, oh yeah, you're going to push out side waves. Eventually you're going to at least chip away at some of these buildings. But that's not going to be a thing in this game with the Treant. And
Yeah, especially now that he's got his... now that he's got the Ags. Before he
that
had the
too.
Ags, it was a little bit difficult, but now...
I mean, you can keep the towers live normally because you can just keep heating them up even if the creeps do some chip damage. And now on top of that, you can catch them out inside these trees if there are some eyes in the forest. Yeah, it's actually a pretty good counter now, as it turns out.
Yeah, they don't have any hard tower pushing heroes. That's why we saw. I mean, he's switched off of it now, but it's why we saw Ember go or aim towards that Desolator for a bit. It's like we just need something to hit towers. It took them so long to get that mid-tier 1 because they just all they had to do was contest a little bit and just keep healing in the tree. Bought all the space for Alchemist. Now he's again sitting top in net worth. He's got Radiance, BKB, he's got his Manta. He's starting to build Ags. He's gonna have his first one basically now.
Oh man. Yeah, Ember going back towards the Shivas, realizing, I need some sort of armor, but I think even with that item, he's still gonna go down to 0.
They're just trying to cut down all of these Heiko trees, but he just has so many set up, it doesn't matter. He's just gonna go back in 20 seconds and put new ones down, guys.
Is that gem on G-Pride? I don't think so.
No gem.
Sentries. Okay. Well, there's still that counter timing when the BKBs are starting to run low. I believe it's yeah, at 8 seconds on Alchemist.
Ags was given to DP, by the way. So we do have the extra ghosts that are going to be flying around in these fights.
We're gonna have that and then the slaughter. Coming up next. Right, now they're the ones going in aggressively here. Will self-stun a little bit.
They
Blinkcraft
caught
goes
me.
in onto Sword. Look at this damage. And he's not tanky at all. He is trying to run away, but the stun connects. Goodbye, Sword. No buyback on him. But Dara has to zip out of there. BKB charges on cooldown at the very least for just a single hero going down, unless they want to keep the pressure up, and they do indeed. Just straight up blinks up the high ground. He doesn't care at all. The silence over on Jakiro. Follow with the crush on Emberspit to bring down Madara too. He does not have buyback available. He committed for the Shiva's guard. It's all going to be down to the Tinky to try and slow this down, but
They have the
sure they
glyph
can.
up, but Beam Hammer's coming in. Ghosts are going to work. Counter glyph. And I think you just commit for this though. There's no buybacks available for Sword or Madara.
even without the exorcism, I mean, just having the axe, just a little bit of extra damage going in from these ghosts.
Fortune.
Okay, I mean,
4 bounty runes means basically another Ags for somebody.
pretty much. Yeah. Goes back to what you said, the Tinker, he has no options. He can't really split push. Because he's gonna get caught out and it's not gonna be effective. And he has to be super careful in these fights because there's so much mobility right now on the side of Furia that it's relatively easy for them to catch him out if he gets too close. And even then, all of his magic burst is gonna be counted out.
You can tell how lost he felt too. Like he didn't know what item to get. He just now buys his scythe. He was sitting on 6,000 gold for so long. He's just like, I don't know what to buy.
Yeah.
Eventually, he does now have the scythe, so we do have the annoying rearm
Hex.
hex capabilities online. But is it going to be enough? Maybe if you can catch this Alchemist or the Slardar, or he's got the puddle now, so he's got the status resistance anytime he's in the river or if he's in the crush. If he just blink crushes, he's got status resistance. So, is it even that good? The
What?
scythe now? Is the scythe even that good now on Tinker? Because you've got all this
Yeah.
save potential.
Thing is, like, I don't think it matters what he gets, what kind of item he gets, in a 5-on-5 engagement. Furious just has too solid of a lineup and too much initiation, too much save potential. And
I think
just
he
too much
needs a
sustain.
defensive item, is what I think it boils down to. I feel like he needed
Yeah.
something to stop them from just
Yeah.
jumping on it. They have.
Jericho gonna be found very, very quickly. There's a buyback available. Disruption goes in, so they get their own death prophets, who do not get the axe upgrade apparently. Unfortunate.
Dire's middle tower.
Either way, I mean, the axe is still useful if you can find these some sort of single hero pickoffs, you know. But Furia is not playing like that anymore. They're just 5-man pushing down a single lane. There's no reason for them to split up and expose themselves.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
We're gonna last here too, and then it's pretty high ground time again. Roshan may respawn as well though, so this could be an option for them potentially.
Dire's middle tower.
Oh, he finds sword.
There it is. Defensive disruption. That looks a little bit weird. Mini, slow down. False promises there just in case. Dark Mago. Just cast a few spells in, but they just seem to bounce off at this point.
There's just so much sustain and so much damage negation available. The Oracle ult's on such a low cooldown as well. 60-second cooldown. Sorry, 45-second cooldown. I forgot. They buffed it a while ago. And
Was it 30 seconds and then they put it up to 45?
I thought it was 60 and they bumped it down,
No,
but
I think it was the other
it's
way.
possible. Oh man, we're gonna get a fight.
Oh, Root goes in. A couple of crushes. Monarch stands there, gets BKB off the meter and actually catches Shadow Demon. So that's first hero down. Mini looking for another one, but alright, what the hell? Oh, RDL came in and helped finish him off, so there's a buyback available. He's gonna have to use it if they want to try and hold this tower. There it is. Chains going forward. Double stomp from Sword, but he has to go straight out. The Ice Buff does connect
Dire's middle tower.
only for a moment. But do they really care? A couple of hexes, a couple of rockets, March coming in now. They just backing up.
25k net worth lead at 38 minutes into the game. What looked like a great start for Gorilla's Pie has turned into an absolute disaster. They just don't have the damage or the sustainability. There's just so much everything coming out from the side of Furia. They apparently overwhelming armor is a big deal.
Sword is gonna go down again. 65 seconds while Centaur, they're fine. Oh, the Yules, but just get the remnant out. Out of Yules, Jericho trying to do what he can, but Tinker actually caught on the front lines and
He's got buyback.
well, I'm not sure if that matters all that much honestly because the rest of the team is going to fall one by one the moment they get anywhere near this Radiant lineup.
Surrender's middle barracks.
The stun, they're hexed, a couple of rockets are flying, Alchemist down to half health. Out the ultimate, gotta be a bit careful here, but again, just walk out, blink away. They got buybacks, they got a set of racks, and they didn't lose a single hero. I don't see G-Pride winning this game.
I'm looking for any possibility, and I'm looking for like the tiny little gleam of hope, but it really just does feel like they don't have enough to offer. There's so much damage and not enough oomph in their lineup. Like they don't have the firepower to. They can't jump the Oracle because Slardar is always going to be there to back up his buddy, and you can't jump anybody else because Duster's just going to save them.
I mean, we were talking about this yesterday as well, but if you look at the minutes, it's 41 minutes, and if you look at the network advantage, these numbers are getting dangerously close, you know.
And Tinker's dieback.
Yeah. Murdoch, not quite solo killing him. Hiko was helping out. Actually got the last hit with that.
With the global-
with the global ults, you know, the damage from the eyes in the forest. Sword is dead as well, and it's gonna be dead Jericho. Hashtag stop dragon abuse. Gonna point out that particular charity. Jakiros die way too much in this game.
Do you feel strongly about that, Mr. Drop?
You know I do. You know I do. Yeah, it's just gonna go down. GG, well played. It will be forced out one way or the other. Furia putting another point on the board. I don't think it's going to matter. If they win the next game, then I think they have one more game. And if they win that, they are sitting at 3 points, 3 and 4. Which, again, I'm not sure it's going to be enough. And they would have to beat Thunder Predator, so. Talked about that at the
It's
beginning.
you know what? It's one of those things where even if you don't make it into the tournament, you can go down swinging, and
Oh,
they
yeah.
definitely did that here
Absolutely.
against G Pride.
They're not just balling out with not winning a single game. They're making some statements here. 32-22. Another one. Another fun little scoreline there to just make Twitch chat happy. all of these things come into play. But yeah, I mean, it's
I didn't even see that.
it's just a draft timing where G Pride just didn't have that push that we were talking about, and then it got outscaled. Anything else to say about this game, or?
Make sure when you're playing against Treant, you have somebody that hits towers.
Yeah.
That's all it boils down to. Yesterday, when Furia tried to do this similar strat, the Treant Slardar opening, you had this Medusa who can just sit there and hit buildings and kind of negate all that healing. But against when G Pride goes for this like Ember Tinker lineup, who the hell hits buildings on that team? Nobody. So the mid tower stays alive for way longer than it needed to. The bottom T1 stays alive for way longer than it needed to. And it allows Alchemist to recover from what was admittedly kind of a trash lane.
Yep. Well, that's going to be that. We're going to have Pain Gaming versus SG Esports coming up next. But for now, we're going to take a short break. But stay tuned.